I just finished a pitch meeting, and these are 3 things I did not think about that tripped me up. I'm Aisha. I am working full-time to open up my own board game lounge here in Utah, where we can all play games in cute spaces that are cozy and we feel safe in a very welcoming environment. I just finished a pitch meeting where we did like a full pitch. I had my little PowerPoint. We did a full proposal to these potential very generous sponsors to utilize half of their space that they are offering to us if this goes well. Now, I wanted to share with you 3 things that I thought I was prepared for that I was not. That's making me think about a lot of stuff. So 1, budget. I am aware that there's a budget, right? But since I'm on mostly like the interior design, I plan for the budget for rugs, tables. I want like a garden-esque theme, like a secret garden. So lots of real and fake plants throughout. We need board game tables. I would love to have like soft seating, but within realistic of can we actually sit and play games? Because a lot of couches are low. I thought about lighting, whether I'm going to have string lights. I need lamps everywhere, flameless candles. I need a temporary wall to separate our space just because it is a shared space and we don't want people like wandering onto the working office side like while we're there. So all of those I've budgeted for. I had it ready. One thing I did think about was the sign outside. Like we need to have a sign so people know where we're at. And I felt really good about it. And I was like, I could do this under this amount of money, especially if I'm on Facebook Marketplace, because I could find a lot of cool furniture pieces there. Now, in the meeting, what I didn't think about was parking. So I was like, there's this space here off to the side that is kind of like, it's like a dirt road. It's not a road, but it's like a dirt area. There's like weeds and some trucks park there, but it's not really a designated parking spot. So I was like, we could probably just pull up all the weeds, throw some gravel on there and people can park there. However, we do need to be ADA compliant. I thought about that in the little spaces where I can like pull seating out. So if you have a wheelchair, you can like come in, make a 90-degree turn and then turn again to play. So that in my mind was solved, but I never thought of the parking, right? Because they need to park and have access to get out of their car and then sidewalk and then come in. So that being said, apparently gravel is not, you have to have asphalt for a real parking lot. If cars are gonna park there for your business, you can't just have like a dirt road gravel there, especially if you're trying to have like a wheelchair access spot. And something I didn't consider is the seasons here. So in the winter, not last winter, but it snows. And if there's ice or anything, the gravel can make it worse to be able to get out of your car. We don't want people falling outside. That's a safety thing. So with how expensive it is, they were thinking it was upwards of $20K. Now, that was not in my budget at all, but this is I need to have a place for people to park. That's very important. I would not want people to have to walk like a few blocks to get to this space, especially since I host a lot of game nights in the evenings, right? If I start game night at 6 p.m., it's going to be dark by the time you leave. So that was one thing I did. I did not plan for budgeting outside of all the space, the board game inventory, all that stuff I needed to have, POS system. So that was eye-opening. My partner and I were like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's a huge point. We just assumed you could just like, we could make it flat and put some gravel on. But the city has very strict rules for that. And that's another thing I'm learning about the city. The city and the neighboring businesses, huge, right? Those relationships are there for a long time. You can't just like do things, right? There's boundaries, physical boundaries on where we can park. And then also, being gracious to your neighbors because you guys work in the same area and you don't want to have like some turf war over another business that you work next to. The second thing I did not think about was security. So I thought about safety. So I want lighting in the parking lot. We're gonna have cameras up there. Everything's gonna be super bright. So when you walk from your car and then back to your car, ideally everything's lit. I can see everything, and then cameras can capture things as well. I am gonna be working there, so maybe some days nobody comes in and I'm by myself. So I was like, if I walk back to my car, I'd like to have a camera kind of, if something were to happen, if I was to fall and I'm outside by myself, or worse, you know, there's someone out there waiting for me to lock up, you know, heaven forbid, it doesn't get caught on tape or worse. So I did think about that. What I did not think about was people coming inside. So when you go to a business, the doors are open, you just go in. With what I'm doing, that does work, but the area in Salt Lake City, which I did not know, that's probably something I need to do more research on. That specific street that we're looking at opening on, they said, the business owners were like, there's lots of vagrants in the area. And they've had issues before where they were trying to come into the building, right? Either during or after hours. So everything they have is code based, or you have like the key card to open it. Now, I feel like I can't have like a locked door, especially the door that the front door where you'll be coming through is completely solid. It's a really heavy duty door. So I can't just see people like coming in. It will be closed. So they won't be able to see in to be like, where are you? Where's this place at? And I can't see out to see if anyone's waiting out there. So a few options we thought of were, one, they don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable just leaving the door open, you know, especially if I'm alone. The way I am, if someone were to come in wanting to do harm, I am not prepared except for pepper spray in my purse. Other than that, it's scary to think about. If someone were to come in and we are hosting a game night and I am, you know, busy doing stuff, either one, maybe I don't notice them, they just walk in. I'm hoping I don't, but let's say that happens and they just like wander through the office and there's some things in there they take, or, you know, they hide there after we close, I don't notice, heaven forbid. Two, they could come in and be like a nuisance, I guess. If they're not there to play games, they're just there to like, and I'm hoping that nobody's like this. Like, that's also why I never thought of this, because I was just like, oh, everyone can just come and play, but not everyone wants to play, right? So if they come in, like, it's my job to ask them to leave. Like, I need to be able to make sure my people that are here are safe. Am I able to be assertive enough to be like, oh, hi, why don't we come over here? You know, like, how can I help you? Oh, this is like, I'm like thinking of things like, oh, this is a reserved thing, but we can get you on our schedule if you'd like. Even that, I'm like, it makes me nervous because you don't always know people's intent. And my default is like, everyone's nice and everyone wants to be nice and hang out and have fun. My partner's better at doing that, so I'm glad he's going to be there, but he can't always be there, you know? So safety and security for that factor. Yes, lights can help. Yes, cameras can help. But I need to figure out a way for the door, right? We can't have the door, but I need to have some kind of safety. I can have some kind of app on people's phones, or maybe they like, it hooks up and they can get in, right? Because you buy tickets, you can reserve it online. I can tape my phone number outside. That's like, call me when you're there. I'll open the door for you. But we have a lot of people who come by themselves. I wouldn't want just some young woman to just be standing outside, especially if it's like 6:30 p.m. Here in the fall, winter, it's already dark by then. Just standing outside waiting for me to answer my phone. I thought it could be funny to be like, what's the password? You know, like secret password, or a secret knock. But anywho, I am going to research ways on how we can make this work both ways. I I thought of it on the way home. You know when you go get your groceries and you pull in and there's a phone number you call because they bring the groceries to you? I was thinking maybe something like that, where it's like, okay, call when you're here. I will come out and see you. So at least you could like stay in your car until you call. So that's a possibility. We do need a phone that's not my cell phone though, because I tend to put that on silent. And it'd be better to have like a loud ringing phone where it's like, hey, oh, you're outside? Okay, I'm going. Also, my game nights start at specific times. So when you reserve a ticket, I'm going to say, all right, I have a list. These are 15 people that are coming tonight for this game night. Keep an eye out for 15 people, and then after I can lock the door. However, if people are just driving by and they just want to walk in, the door's locked, that's probably not ideal. Also, it may not work for ever, like maybe, because I know like massage places, exercise places, sometimes it's locked, you can call in. They close the doors when class is starting because they start on time. They don't want people like walking in throughout the class, and then they unlock it like midway or after class, something like that maybe. Anywho, I've got to do more research, but that's something I didn't think about, and that is very important because I want people to be safe, feel safe, and not have to worry about all these things. The last thing that I was not prepared for, I'm looking at my notes. Let me see. Honestly, was how long, they asked about how long we were planning on leasing for. So what I found out here in Utah is when you open up your own space, you sign a contract with the landlord, I guess, and you pay them. Apparently the standard is 3 years. So you sign a lease for 3 years. Whether or not your business is successful, you still have to pay for 3 years. I have heard of instances where you can negotiate up to 5 years, but you're locked in for those amount of years, whether you're successful or not, which is why a lot of businesses can and do fail. That's a lot of pressure. I would have to put my house as collateral for that. So for this one, I was kind of like, oh, we're just going to try it out for a few months. But if I have to pay $20,000 for parking to be paved, and I'm like, oh, we're just going to try it out for 3 months, like that doesn't make sense. I would have to severely downsize everything. Instead of having half the office, maybe I have a quarter of the office, and I have specific low attendee game nights, max 15 people. That can work. And then as it gets busier, we can grow into the space. And then I could be like, okay, this is something that's working. Let's do the parking lot. But yeah, my partner and I were like, I don't know how long. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, like how long, and how long do you try? And do you know when your business is like ready, to take the training wheels off? And again, this is a privilege to be able to do that. So that's another thing I need to think of. My brain was just like automatically 6 months minimum. But yeah, is a year enough? And my partner, like his first instinct was like, we're not ready for this. And I'm like, I feel ready. I know I can do this. I get a lot of, I don't know the word, I guess envy. There's a lot of other women business owners that are doing amazing, and I feel like I'm behind, and I'm just like, I'm so behind. I have to open like yesterday. Like, can I get this done in a month? And permits aren't instantaneous. So from that meeting, it made me think about so many other things that I didn't even consider. So my plan is to, excuse me, I have a little, I'll show you, it's like a little sketch of kind of like how the office is and the spaces we can use. I now am going to cut that in half to see if it's doable, where instead of having, 10 spaces, we have 4 little areas in the office. It's cubicles, so that's kind of the idea, is like I'm having to transform cubicles into a game lounge, which is very challenging, but I know I can do it. So cutting it down to like 4. And maybe that can be the training wheels until we expand. And then I'm like, okay, cool, we've saved enough where we can have our own spot. Or if this doesn't work out, okay, maybe I'm not meant to have my own spot. Maybe I just keep traveling to other venues and host game nights, which isn't what I really want to do, but you know, the people tell you what they want, and I just kind of have to pivot into that. And that's just like another chapter that may happen. I don't know. So that's where I'm at right now. That meeting gave me a ton to think about. I'm still processing it. I'm going to go through all my notes and I'll update y'all on other things that I am learning about opening this business. That's all I have for today. I'll see y'all next time.